Good morning. Hello, America.
Hey, Kim. Well,
Yes,
happy Monday.
hello. Happy Monday, April 10th, 2023, and you're joining us for the Dojo Live recap show. Thank you very much. So what do we do in the show? We recap a little bit about last week's shows as a way to kind of get you excited, to entice you to listen to the great shows that we have to offer, to check out that site, dojo.live, for all of our shows, over 500 of them now. And then, of course, we introduce what we've got going on this week as well. So last week we had a total of 2 shows. First up was Christina Harrington, who's the CEO of Gen Alpha. And she talked all about digital self-service for manufacturers and this idea of adapting or risk being left behind. And the second show was with Mahesh Baxi, who is the CEO and co-founder of Provis. And that was all about the future of services quoting using AI to maximize revenue. So it's really interesting, 2 different approaches of how artificial intelligence is impacting the world around us in 2 very different ways, but both of them were interesting nonetheless. Let's kick it off with Christina's show. What did you find most interesting about her show and what Gen Alpha is doing?
Yes, so Gen Alpha is providing the ability for technology to assist people in manufacturing companies. I wasn't familiar about this topic, so everything was new. For example,
I love it when that happens, actually.
Yeah, so an example that I remember how you can apply this technology is that they help digitizing information so that equipment owners, operators, and dealers can access to that information online, whatever you are. So that is basically the digital self-services that they are providing. And something that really surprised me is that I didn't imagine that the manufacturing industry has been relatively behind on the software game when it comes to adopting things that make them more efficient, whether it is automation or things like digital commerce. There is still a need, and that is where they are approaching.
Yeah, interesting. And it's this niche that's kind of unique, not to be confused with the ERPs, right? What's happening during the actual manufacturing process, but what's happening after with the manufacturers and then the businesses generally, or individuals, but who are using their equipment, right? So we're talking about, I mean, it could be anything, machinery used in factories for other manufacturing processes, cars, construction equipment, and things like that. But it was really interesting because it was this nice merge between what we now expect as consumers. We talked a lot about how there's this YouTube influence and this idea of you can look anywhere and pretty much find an answer for anything. And the idea that manufacturers should really be embracing this, right? Allowing for that knowledge, allowing for that how-to be extremely accessible, extremely easy for the people who are utilizing their products, and just making sure, like, why not embrace that? Why not take the ownership of that? Because it's in some ways, right, it's also generating revenue for them, making sure that there's, original parts being replaced and just that very close conversation with their consumers. And it's just a really cool idea of how to make that adoption and adaptation and really cool niche where I think more and more also as we're becoming less replace and more fixed kind of culture, right? It used to be this kind of throwaway culture, and now we're trying to get more in tune, I think, with the green side of things, which this is really cool about, and just skill sets and just really, really cool technology and way for manufacturers to do that, right? To create this engagement with the people who are utilizing their products. And not only that, Christina's story is a really fun, interesting story as well. A very cool individual who's done a lot in her time up until now. So check her out for sure. After that was Mahesh Baxi, who's the CEO and co-founder of Provis, another application of AI here, but this is about the future of services quoting and using AI to maximize revenue. Funnily enough, we're not talking about services in terms of contractors or plumbers, right, or maintenance people. And I think that's a space where we could, also apply this technology. It's just not where their focus is. But we're talking about service industry, specifically maybe software services and other things, and how we're able to do that quoting better. What was your takeaway with Mahesh's show?
Well, Provius origin, Genesis, it was really interesting for me. But what Provius does, they are transforming the way companies sell services by utilizing AI-led guided selling that allows clients to do advanced approvals, one-click integrations, maximize revenue. That is like the name of the topic. And so, how they knew that there was a need? Why this software? They noticed, they did a research actually, and noticed that there were 96 companies of different size and different industries that do their entire services business on Excel spreadsheets. So that is where they saw that there is the, well, that was the aha moment. And they are now providing a smart solution that estimates price and quotes, particularly in increasingly complex deals. So that is really cool.
It is really cool. I think especially in the services, and how what's interesting is it's really creating, I think, empowering people who are involved in this process, streamlining it. And with their technology, they're able to make comparative analysis, right? And he was talking about how a lot of times in services industry, you've got obviously many deals going on at the same time. Maybe that means even certain resources are involved in the wheeling and dealing of several deals. And it can actually help you make really informed decisions based off of how things have happened in the past as a projection into how they might happen in the future, but also keeping things in mind of this is the better deal for you, company. This is where you're going to make more revenue. Push harder here, maybe ease up there, or actually this isn't even worth pursuing. And also ideas, I think, of traditionally in services, right? If a prospect comes to you and they can say, well, I don't have a budget for 500,000, I only have a budget for 400,000, then the temptation might be to give that discount, whatever that is. I'm not very good at math. I think that's 20%, or what is it? I don't know. But okay, fine. We'll do this deal for that discount. But it's actually empowering you to make better decisions. You don't have to necessarily discount it. It enables you to rearrange. Well, I can't do this for 500,000 or this for 400,000, but I can do this. What do you think? And able to kind of just make sure that everything works and it's going to work well into the future. And just really, really cool product to check out. And you're right. Mahesh's story was a good one as well. How he and his co-founder teamed up, really leaned heavily on their past experiences. And together they made this sort of power team, right? And found this niche. He also had some really great advice for people who are wanting to become entrepreneurs. I mean, classic, making sure that there's this market fit. But I really enjoyed his idea of always asking himself the question of what's next, right? I think, which was a super cool takeaway for me. And yeah, that was last week's shows, plural. This week, we actually have one show coming up, and that is going to be with Pierce Healy tomorrow at 10 o'clock Pacific. He is the CEO and co-founder of the company called Zelta. And the question here is how companies can use AI to understand their customers more deeply and prioritize their product roadmap with confidence. So this is all about AI and customer understanding and reinventing SaaS product development, right? So right up the alley here with a lot of our Dojo Live viewers. Don't miss it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. Thank you, America, and I will see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye.